What the hell's going on? Where's Anderson? Where are we going? Hey!
We're leaving.
Leaving?
What's going on?
Anderson wants us to go to the Citadel. Get help for the fight.
Bullshit, he wouldn't order us to leave.
We don't have a choice. Without help, this war's already over.
Forget it. Drop me off someplace.
Enough! Don't you think I'd rather stay and fight? We're going to the Citadel. You want out, you can catch a ride back from there.
Commander!
Joker, that you?
Alive and kicking. Got an emergency transmission from Admiral Hackett for you.
Patch it through.
Hackett's still alive, that's good.
Shepard, saying heavy losses. Force was overwhelming. There's no way we can defeat them conventionally.
Anderson's already ordered me to the Citadel to talk to the Council.
First, I need you to lance outposts on Mars. We lose control of the system.
Yes, sir.
We've been researching the Prothean archives with Dr. Tassoni. We found a way to stop the Reapers. Only way to stop them. Contact soon. Hack it out.
Joker, set a course for the Mars archives.
Mars? Roger that.
This is loco.
Why Mars? What does he think we'll find there?
I don't know yet. But if it helps us win this war... Grab your gear.
So we're going to Mars. The Red Planet. Interesting.
I've been trying to reach Mars on secure channels. No one's answering.
Any sign of Reaper activity?
Negative.
Edie?
The base appears to be online. It's possible the inhabitants were evacuated.
We'll know soon enough. Be ready, Joker. Just in case.
Roger that. Normandy out.
We're almost there.
This is where humanity found the Prothean ruins that led to the discovery of Mass Effect and the Charon Relay.
Still no contact from the base, but we've got a massive storm headed our way.
How long till it hits?
Half hour tops. After that, we're gonna have difficulty keeping up comms with the Normandy.
Understood.
Okay. Oh, I just leveled up. And as the game is prompting me to do, this is a good time to go and do some leveling up. Of course, I could have done this for Shepard during the during the prologue, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the introduction. We actually keep our level this time. In Mass Effect 2 we got reset back to level 2 or 3 if you import it, but now we are still level 30, and in fact my points distribution is the same as it was in the previous game as well, except for the bonus power, which had points assigned, but now it does not. And we've got a bunch of points we can assign. I'm probably going to reset my powers later, because I still don't really use Cryoblast, so I want to reclaim that 1 point there. And let's look at what we have in terms of powers. We've seen the list before, of course, when I read the description of the classes, but let's see what everything is. Incinerate. Burn your opponents and incinerate their armor. Heavy damage to health and armor. Make an enemy panic, stopping health regeneration. Incinerate is still a useful power as always, but it is kind of overshadowed by Overload, to be honest, which has become so much more useful that it has sort of replaced Incinerate as my primary attack, but mostly so when you get it up to the level 6 evolution. In Mass Effect 2, of course, everything only went up to 4. Now everything goes up to 6, and we have more choices to make as well. The first 3 ranks of a power are fixed. There's no choice. They just give you... the first one gives you the power, obviously. The second one, in this case, increases recharge speed, which we actually get numbers for this time, which is nice. And the third one just increases damage. Then for the fourth one we can pick. This is also true in Mass Effect 2, and of course we already picked there. And you can pick between area of effect, increased impact radius by 2 meters, or increased damage, which is what I picked for Incinerate. And well, we'll look into the later choices when I make them, rather than go through that now. Overload. Overload electronics with this power surge, stunning your enemy. Effective against shields, barriers, and synthetics. Not as effective as against organics. Now, while that is true, in Mass Effect 2, Overload did nothing against organics. It basically just took their shields down, and after that, no damage. But here, Overload has the ability to stun organics using the 5th evolution, the Neural Shock, and can be... and can also be evolved to hit multiple targets, making it an excellent crowd control ability. Which is why I like it so much. First we get the power, the second one increases recharge speed, third increases damage, same as with Incinerate. The fourth one is multiple targets or damage. And even though I picked area of effect for Overload in Mass Effect 2, it seems that it gives me damage now. The one I actually want is this one, Chain Overload. Hit one additional target within 8 meters with 60% less damage. So in order to get that, I will have to reset my powers later. Cryoblast. Flash, freeze, and shatter unprotected enemies. Slow down the rest. Weaken armor. Frozen targets won't regenerate health. While it is a very useful ability, particularly its ability to debuff armor, increase the amount of damage armor targets take, I just don't like it as much. It's a different way of playing. Combat Drone. Deploy this attack drone to stun targets and draw enemy fire. So Cryoblast, I will actually remove that one point later when I reset my powers. Combat Drone though, let's see, we started with the drone. Increase recharge speed, not that useful for a combat drone, although I guess it means you can use a power after deploying a drone faster. So it's useful from that point of view. First increases the shields and damage of the drone. Then we get a choice between more shields and damage, or making the drone explode when it is destroyed. There's basically 2 ways you can play the drone. You can either play it as a crowd control mechanism that blows up when it gets destroyed, and it will get destroyed frequently, or you can go for a drone that lasts a bit longer and does more damage, but to fewer targets at a time. Particularly the rocket drone is useful for that, and that is the path I will be taking, so that's okay with me. Although, currently it's 4-4-4-4, because that makes sense in Mass Effect 2, of course, to end that way. When I reset my powers, I might prioritize some of the abilities over others and not exactly redistribute the points the way they were. Sabotage. Sabotages weapons and hack synthetics. This is basically a combination of the Mass Effect 2 ability AI hacking and the Mass Effect 1 ability Sabotage, which overloads weapons. I don't feel it is that useful, because the damage it does against synthetics is kind of unreliable. It's very useful against synthetics though, but we won't really be seeing those often enough to really make that worthwhile. I do like this ability, but there's other things I like more. Sentry turret. Deploy this heavy weapon turret for cover fire. It's kind of like a stationary combat drone in many ways, and it takes some practice to use it effectively. It dies very quickly. You can basically, the way to use it, I feel, is to treat it as a grenade, throw it into enemy groups and distract them for a bit. You can also place it near you to give you some protection against being flanked. But using it to actually protect critical places and expecting it to stay up for more than 2 seconds is not really effective. So the first time I played the game I was really bad at using the sentry turret. But I've gotten much better at it, particularly thanks to the multiplayer. My skill has improved a lot. Tech Mastery. This is our passive skill for engineers, to be an expert tactician on and off the battlefields. Faster and stronger tech powers, more dexterity, more charisma. So this gave us increased weight capacity, I'll explain that later, and reputation bonus, which means we get more Paragon and Renegade points. Then influence and damage gives us power damage bonus and more reputation bonus. Then you could choose between power damage or power duration and reputation. I think I'm okay with the power damage one. I can't switch it at the moment. Fitness! Now this is the reason I was dying so quickly when I got shot during that extraction bit. Because there's no points here yet. Put on some muscle and become fearless in close quarters combat. More melee damage, more health, more shields and barriers. I don't really like melee, it's not my style of playing. So I'm going to go for shields and barriers, and I'm definitely going to put some points in this. Increase health and shield bonuses by 10%. Increase melee damage bonus by 20%, which I don't really care about, but you have to pick it to get to the later ones. And I'm gonna go for the level 4 one as well for the moment, which increases health and shield bonuses by 15%. You can also choose melee damage, but I'm going for health and shields, because living longer is always good in my opinion. Finally, we have Warp Ammo. Blast vulnerable opponents already lifted by biotics for damage bonus and weaken the armor of grounded targets. More weapon damage, more damage to barriers and armor. Since I currently don't have that many points left, I'm going to put some in sentry turrets because I like that. Increases recharge speed, increases shields and damage, similar as the drone. Let's see, I have 7 points left. Yeah, I think I will. Since I'm gonna reset later, it doesn't really matter that much. Shock attack, useful, but I prefer letting the turret survive a bit longer with the additional shields. And then let's put points in Warp Ammo. Increase damage to lifted targets by 25%. Not that useful since we don't have anyone who has lifted ability with us at the moment. Who has that ability. Okay, well that's me. For the moment. We still have squad mates who also have their own powers. James is a new squad mate. He's a soldier and therefore has combat abilities. Fortification. Reinforce armor using protective focal currents. Purge the currents and send its charge to your gauntlets. I'm gonna put everything up to 3 at first and then see how many points I have left. Okay, so fortification gives us increased recharge speed when armor is purged, and increased melee damage bonus by 20% when armor is purged. Also not that useful for him, because squad mates are not that good at doing melee. They usually just die when they don't stay in cover. Frag grenade. Rip your enemies apart with this shrapnel-packed grenade. I don't think squad mates ever throw grenades of their own accord. You have to tell them to do it. And they have a limited number, so that's probably a good thing. Frag grenades are pretty powerful though. Increase grenade capacity by 1 and increase damage by 20%. Incendiary ammo. Shoot your enemy and your enemy will burst into flames. More weapon damage, weaken armor, chance to make an enemy panic. Always useful. Improve the odds of panicking a target by 15%. Increase health and armor damage bonuses by 4%. Carnage. Rip a target into shreds with this vicious blast. Major collateral damage to enemies nearby. Effective against armor. I don't think I'm gonna have points left to do anything. Wait, what were the evolutions? Recharge speeds and damage. Okay, that makes sense. Arms Master is his passive skill. Boost offensive and defensive abilities. So that gives him health and shield bonus and weapon damage bonus. And again, health and shield and weapon damage bonus. Some of the later ones kind of get interesting because I think they have abilities that affect the entire squad. See? This gives the entire squad bonuses, not just the character itself. Okay, well, I guess this'll do. Actually, back from Mass Effect 1, after being mostly absent in Mass Effect 2. And she is also a soldier. She has Inferno Grenade, cluster bomb a small area with incendiary munitions. That's quite useful. So we have increased capacity and damage. Disruptor ammo, bring down your enemy's barrier and shields. Chance to stun, more weapon damage, more damage to shields and barriers. Now, in Mass Effect 2 there was the ability to have combinations with biotic powers. In Mass Effect 3 this is much extended, there are a lot of combinations, and Disruptor ammo allows for combinations with tech powers, which I have. So that's really a very useful thing for her to use. It's kind of hit or miss whether or not you get those, but whatever. Concussive shot, flatten your enemy with a precise blast at short or long range, effective against barriers. That's also an old power making a comeback. Marksman, boost weapon accuracy and firing rate for a short time. Oh yeah, recharge speed, duration. Most of these are not all that interesting. This is probably recharge speed and damage, or force and damage. Force determines how much an enemy gets knocked about when they are hit. Alliance Officer, boost weapon damage, health, shields, and shields barriers. I'm kind of taking a long time to do this, but that's because I'm already level 31 and have so many powers, so many points. Normally I wouldn't read a power until I put points into it, but now I have enough points to put stuff in everything. Okay, this is her passive skill. Health and shield bonus, weapon damage bonus, and more. Okay, that will do for now. While I'm in this screen, we have of course our journal, which has been completely and utterly made useless, because you can no longer expand items to see your progress, you just get one item for each thing. Currently we're on priority Mars. Admiral Hackett ordered the Normandy to Mars to locate new Prothean data that could help defeat the Reapers, but the archives on Mars are not responding. Investigate the dig site and find the Prothean data. And the journal has also been integrated with the Codex for reasons unknown. I don't understand why they mucked this up. They had a perfectly working journal in the previous games. Why did they change it to make it bad? Manual is where the old Codex used to be, but now it's just a manual. The Codex is under journal. For some reason, we can't have a map here, that's only for hub worlds, and we can't save at the moment either, apparently. Under options, I just briefly want to show you, I am actually playing on hardcore difficulty. Normally I would always play on normal, but now I'm playing on hardcore. Basically my skill level has increased so much thanks to the multiplayer that normal is too easy, there's just no tension anymore. That was already a problem in the later parts of Mass Effect 2. But I didn't want to change the difficulty mid-game. I could probably handle Insanity, but it's a trade-off between not wanting to make the fights last hours. So we're sticking with Hardcore. Auto level up. We don't want to use that, of course. I want to choose my own points. Squad mate power use is on, although I will probably give them orders more often than I did in the previous games. Particularly because of combinations and just because certain abilities are very useful to use in certain situations. And again, because I've been playing the multiplayer, I've been playing different classes and know much more what the strengths and weaknesses of different powers that my own character doesn't have are. Autosave, hints, action icons are all on. There's also some new options about narrative. You can choose whether or not you want all the decisions or just want to breeze through the cutscenes if you're just someone who likes to play shooters or something. Subtitles. And you can actually disable Shepard's helmet, so you can wear a helmet without having to stare at a helmet in cutscenes. Okay. And that is enough for now. Let's actually get moving. We're on Mars. And that storm isn't looking all too neighborly. So let's hurry up before it gets here. See if there's anything here. Well, you know, the chances of anything coming from Mars.
Damn, that's a huge storm. Looks a lot bigger in person.
Come on, Lieutenant, it's not that bad.
Doesn't mean it can't kill us.
I'm more worried about the war back on Earth, or the fact that nobody here is reporting in.
Fair enough.
Indeed. Well, as I was saying, the chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, he said. Yes, the chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1. But still, they come. Okay, I apologize for that. These are the archives. They helpfully point out the fact that it's Mars, otherwise we would never know that. See if we can find out what happened here, why they're not responding. And Hackett said that it had something to do with Liara. He mentioned Dr. Tsoni, which is Liara's last name. So, let's see what she has to do with any of this. Sandstorms are actually quite a real problem on Mars when we design.
Alliance. Sergeant Reeves. Doesn't look like he put up a fight.
Something's not right here. Keep a low profile till we know what's going on.
Roger that.
So yeah, you have the ability to look at whatever they're talking about by pressing V, as you've just seen me do. Which is helpful. There's much more squad-made dialogue in this game than in the previous two. And there's a weapon lying here, an M92 Mantis, which you can pick up. And we can change loadout. Now in this game, weapons are tied to your ability to use powers. The heavier the weapons you're carrying are, the slower your power recharge will be. The numbers you get in the power screen are the 0% figure. And basically having a plus 200% bonus means that I only get a third of that as my real cooldown, which is quite fast. And I will be using weapons that are quite light, so I will be able to use that all the time. So despite the fact that all classes can now use all weapons, unlike in previous games, and despite the fact that in the previous game I really liked using sniper rifles tend to be heavy, and I don't want that. So I won't be using sniper rifles. I will mainly be sticking to pistols and submachine guns. Weapon mods are also back, but you can't change that when you're changing loadout like this, and besides I don't have any mods at the moment. And I've got an M4 Shuriken 1 submachine gun. So, we also have shotguns, of course. I don't have any shotguns at the moment, it seems. And assault rifles. I have the Avenger, which we picked up during the previous mission, and the Argus 1, which I got for pre-ordering the game. There's a lot more variety between weapons, and I'll try to give everybody a decent loadout. Let's see, Ashley is now using the Mantis and the Avenger, which is fine for her. James is using a katana, even though we don't technically have any shotguns yet. It says 0, but he is using a shotgun. Squad mates can't use all weapons, so actually can't use shotguns or SMGs or pistols, and James can't use sniper rifles, submachine guns or pistols. And I guess I'll give him the Argus, so they're not both using the same assault rifle. Cooldown is not a factor for your squad mates, so you can give them extremely heavy weapons and not worry about it. Because squad mate cooldown is tied to Shepard's cooldown. It does not depend on the weight of the weapons they're carrying. We've got our HUD, of course, as always, where we can change weapons for ourselves and for squad mates. Avenger, Argus, and we can change it to the shotgun, but I'll let them both use the assault rifle for now, and we can use their powers. These are the grenades. You can see he has. They both have 3 grenades. Ashley has 3 Inferno grenades. James has 3 frag grenades, and I have all of my powers. And this is okay in terms of placement for the sentry turret in my quick slots. I also have 3 Metagel. The health bar is a bit different. You can see it is divided up into segments, and if you lose health, it will only regenerate up to the current segment. So if I lose health up to here, then it will regenerate up to here. The remaining segments only regenerate when you use Metagel. So Metagel is not just useful for reviving fallen squad mates, you also need it to revive your to restore your full health. Shields will always fully regenerate if you take cover long enough. Okay, enough standing about. I always hate it when I have to do so much explaining in the beginning of a game. What the hell is going on there?
Holy shit, they're executing them.
Who are those guys? Well, I guess they're not on our side if they're executing the Alliance personnel. So, let's use some powers. And the nice thing is, when you're in a situation like this where they haven't spotted you, you can just order your squad mates to use 3 different powers on them, and as a result, everybody's going to die. Especially if you can do combinations. So, for example, I know that Overload can be detonated by Concussive Shot. So that's one combination we can do, and let's throw a grenade from James.
I know we're here now.
Well, that didn't really have the spectacular effect I was hoping for, but anyway. And both of them should be using their ammo powers. I'm gonna switch to the pistol, which I think is a bit more powerful than an SMG. SMGs are useful in short range, or if you run out of ammo, but not from this distance.
Those guys were Cerberus, weren't they?
Sure looked like it.
What's Cerberus doing here on Mars?
Good question.
You don't know?
I'm not with them anymore, Ash, if that's what you're asking.
It wasn't, but you have to admit, it's a bit convenient.
Cerberus! I had a feeling that we hadn't seen the last of them. They're probably not too happy that I returned to the Alliance and turned over the Normandy SR2, which they built. Look around for stuff, of course, because now we can find upgrades and new weapons and things that gives us experience and things of that nature. Uh-oh. More people! Let's try an Inferno grenade. See, those are quite powerful. I'm not using warp ammo. And yeah, Cerberus troops throw grenades, which is really annoying. They're always commenting on what you're doing.
Doesn't look like they came here in force.
Yeah, just a few vehicles.
Kinda suggests they had help. From the inside.
Seems likely.
You'd need a lot more men and firepower to take this place otherwise.
Okay, so possible traitor here on Mars. I hope you don't think it was me. Actually.
Commander, I thought you told Cerberus to screw off after you wiped out that collector base they were after.
That's exactly what I did.
Well, one thing's for sure. They're no friend of the Alliance.
Agreed.
Yeah, after an entire game of trying to make Cerberus seem sympathetic, this seems right back to their old form of Mass Effect 1. Well, I guess this is our way in. Let's see if we can find out what Cerberus is after. Well, presumably the same thing we're after. Since we really don't know what that is either, so... Anyway, let's go inside.
I need a straight answer, Shepard.
About what?
Do you know anything about this? What is Cerberus doing here?
What makes you think I know what they're up to?
You worked for them. How am I supposed to believe you've cut all ties?
We joined forces to take down the Collectors. That's it.
They rebuilt you from scratch. They gave you a ship, resources.
Let me be clear. I've had no contact with Cerberus since I destroyed the Collector base. And I have no idea why they're here now or what they want.
Commander Shepard's been under constant surveillance since coming back to Earth. No way they've communicated since.
Sorry, Shepard. I just...
I shouldn't have to explain myself to you, Ash. Please, trust me.
I do. It's just that...
Somebody needs to check that air conditioning. Wow, Liara took a level in badass since the last game.
Easy there, Lieutenant. She's with us.
Shepard, thank the goddess you're alive.
You too, Liara.
I was so worried when the reports came in. I'm sorry about Earth. Yeah, it was difficult to leave. Ashley, I'm sorry. But why'd you come here?
Hackett ordered us to come. Said you'd know what was going on.
I do.
Hallelujah. Some answers, finally.
Maybe. I've discovered plans for a prothean device. One that could wipe out the Reapers.
Here on Mars?
In the Prothean archives, yes.
This was actually foreshadowed in Lair of the Shadow Broker. Just remember that Liara mentioned that the Shadow Broker was looking into something to do with the Protheans in order to defeat the Reapers. But Liara couldn't think of what it was, and it seems she found out.
We've known about the archives for decades. Why now?
Process of elimination, mixed with a little desperation. When you destroyed the Alpha Relay, you bought us some time. But then you were under investigation. I knew I had to do something. Hackett knew it too. He contacted me, asking if I would use my resources as a shadow broker to find a way to stop the Reapers. My search led me here. Hackett got me access to the archives and kept me updated on your status. I meant to come see you, but...
I would have liked that. But under the circumstances, I think I can forgive you.
You're too kind. In any case, my work paid off. The archives are full of data, an overwhelming amount. I think I found what we need.
I guess I'll believe it when I see it. Where do we find this weapon?
It's not a weapon, not yet. It's plans for a device, a blueprint.
It's more than we had a minute ago. How do we get it?
The archives are just across that tramway. Assuming Cerberus hasn't locked it down.
What are they after?
Yeah, they seem hell-bent on catching you.
They want what I'm here for. What we're all here for.
But why?
The Protheans came close to defeating the Reapers. They had plans to destroy them, but ran out of time.
And anything powerful enough to destroy the Reapers.
Just might be something Cerberus would be interested in.
So it's a race to the archives.
We've got company.
Bring it on.
Not this time, James.
What?
Get back to the shuttle. If Cerberus beats us to the archives, I need you covering the exits.
But...
Now, Lieutenant.
They're getting closer. We should take cover.
Looks like they found us.
Okay, now before we do this, we actually get to level up Liara as well. Who, of course, has biotic powers because she's basically an adept. Singularity: create a sphere of dark energy that traps and dangles enemies caught in its field. Very useful ability. Increase recharge speed, increase hold duration, and impact radius. She also has stasis, stop an enemy in its tracks with this powerful Mass Effect field. No effect on armored targets. Enemies eventually break out of stasis after taking major damage. Stasis is particularly useful to deal with one type of enemy we'll see much later in the game. Still a reasonably useful ability, especially because enemies take damage while they're in stasis, which they didn't used to do with stasis in Mass Effect 1. Where it was completely pointless, in my opinion. She has warp ammo, it's actually her bonus power that I'm using. And now actually we have the ability to get lifted targets, so this makes sense, because Liara can lift targets with Singularity. Warp, rip your enemy apart at a molecular level. Singularity and Warp combined can make a biotic explosion, as can Stasis and Warp, I believe. I don't know all the combos, there's so many of them. I'm mostly even gonna get them by accident, I think. Increase recharge speed by 25% for the first one, and damage for the second. And her passive ability, boost biotic and defensive abilities. Health and shield bonuses, especially important for Liara because she's kind of weak in that aspect. And also recharge speed bonus. Wait. Oh, I thought I was mistaking these two. I thought it said she had 4 points left, in which case I would have been able to pick something. But no. Okay, now the tutorial is still continuing, and it wants me to use Liara's Singularity power.
Not a problem for someone with biotics. You can't hide forever.
And I think that using Warp will explode it, as you can see. That does quite a lot of damage.
You're going to need more than guns to finish them, Shepard. That's all of them.
Good. Let's find a way up.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going where they came from. Let's see, is there an elevator here somewhere? Yes.
They've sabotaged the elevator.
Look for another way up.
Okay. Then we'll do that. So check if there's anything to pick up here, like a medkit. Only gets experience, because we still haven't used any Metagel. Good to have Liara on the team again. As our first old squad mate to show up. And of course, her first time since the first game, that she's a permanent squad mate again. In Mass Effect 2, she only showed up for Lair of the Shadow Broker. We can climb up here, but then we're stuck. Apparently this gap is too big to jump. Yeah, you can come back down. Let's see, what's this? Vehicle lift. Apparently I need to stand closer.
Station. How did Cerberus get in?
Not sure. One minute we were getting reports of the Reaper invasion. The next, there was chaos. Didn't even realize it was Cerberus at first.
Could they be working with the Reapers?
Doubtful. But I suppose anything's possible.
They probably have their own plan against the Reapers. Okay, now that we've raised the vehicle, we can actually jump over this and climb over this railing. Let's see, anything up here that might be of interest? Nothing except a view. Can we see if that storm's coming? Not really from this angle, though we can hear it. That storm hits might make extraction rather difficult. What weapons is Liara using? Pistol. Oh, actually submachine gun. Well, that's okay. Liara's main use in the squad is for powers anyway.
Shepard, take cover.
We're still on cleanup duty. Yeah, some of the scientists are putting
So you can, as you can see, you can grab these guys when they're behind a low cover. It's not something you'll be able to do very often in the game though, especially not with my playing style. I guess if you play more close quarters combat, it will be useful more often. Let's lift these guys. I'm not sure if... No, that does not give you a tech burst. Didn't really think it would. Liara, you can use warp ammo too. Okay. This is actually kind of a dangerous thing if you don't remember the battlefield. I happen to remember now. Because after you grab the guy, somebody will outflank you from this side. So if you keep focusing on the guys that were back there, that can end badly. But I remembered that. Okay. Let's move on. After thoroughly checking. The storm does look like it's getting closer. Glass has a lot of scratches on it. Is that good? I don't know.
We'll need access to the pedway. Controls should be nearby.
I guess we should look for those then. Oh, there's data pad. Oh, it's on the other side. I guess I could read it from that side, but anyway. From Cameron Harrison to Exogeny Corporation. Oh, those guys. They were the ones that colonized Pharaohs. Miss Mika, thank you for your kind offer of new and cutting-edge technology. As with every other offer you've made, we're going to have to decline. Our proprietary rights experts have gone over your contracts, again, and found them lacking, again. And in short, we're not interested. Please don't contact us anymore with your generous offers. Best, C. Harrison. Okay, I guess they're not interested in working with
Security's been tampered with.
Exogeny. Has it? Ooh. Arianka Technology Gauntlets.
That's odd.
Those are an armor modification, but we need an armor locker to
What the-
change that. Poor guy. What's going on, Liara?
Let me try. No.
Liara is being ineffective, it seems. Ooh, level up. Let's see where to put some points. Since I need to change Overload to the chain one to be really useful, I'll put it in Incinerate for the moment. Burning damage or recharge speed? Recharge speed is already pretty good. Remember that I only have a third of this as long as my bonus is 200%. Plus, there's also the recharge bonuses for my passive ability, I think. So, I'm going for burning damage. Concussive shot is probably the best for her. Force and damage or impact radius. Concussive shot is not really a crowd control ability, so I'm going to go with impact radius. For Liara, singularity. Increase hold duration. Additional enemies can be lifted before singularity fades, or impact radius. I'm gonna go with duration.
Damn it. Security's been tampered with.
Okay, let's see if we can figure out this whole security thing that Liara seems to have some trouble with. Oh, here we can pick up grenades, but Ashley already has the maximum at the moment.
That's odd.
Let's see if maybe we can figure it out if Liara can't.
Shepard, see if you can gain access to the pedway. I can't seem to unlock the live feeds, but...
Hey, did you see that? Who's that woman in the vid?
That's Dr. Ivacore. She got here about a week ago. Any luck?
Pedway's been locked out.
Alright, looks like there's construction nearby. We can get out on the roof. We can find a way around from there.
Great. Let's move.
Okay, looks like we have a way out. And a suspicious doctor on the video feeds. Could that be Cerberus's inside contact? Oh, this is where we came from. Sometimes I'm being too thorough, making sure we've checked everywhere for stuff. And I'm quite sure that we'll run into more enemies soon as well.